It's going down. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And as always, I would like to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of It's Going Down, being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. It says, U.S. complicit in Ukrainian attacks on Russian airfields, DPR. Washington helped Kiev update drones used in assaults on strategic bomber bases in early December, Denis Pushilin claimed. A group of American specialists assisted Ukraine in modernizing unmanned aerial vehicles that were subsequently used in an attack deep inside Russia, the acting head of the Donetsk People's Republic has said. A U.S. company directly helped the Ukrainian military modernize the drones that were used in the strikes to the airfields in Russian territory, Denis told RT in an interview published on Saturday. He added that the UAVs in question had been fitted with a U.S. GPS navigation system. According to Pushilin, the drones were modernized at an aviation plant in the Ukrainian city of Kharkov. The acting head of the DPR also said the information about the U.S. involvement is now being double-checked. He did not name the company that was supposedly involved in the modernization efforts. Neither did he provide any other details about America's alleged involvement. The U.S. has yet to comment on Pushilin's statement. The strikes Pushilin mentioned took place in early December, which will be this month. At that time, Ukraine struck two strategic bomber bases in Ryazan and Saratov regions using its drones. Debris from drones shot down by air defenses killed 3 servicemen and resulted in minor damage to 2 bombers. Moscow said the attack failed to disrupt a planned airstrike on Ukrainian military logistics launched by Russia on the same day. In the wake of the attack, Washington insisted that it had neither encouraged nor enabled long-range attacks by Ukraine. The incident also came on the same day it was reported that the United States had modified HIMARS rocket launchers so Ukraine could not use them for longer-range missiles, allegedly because the White House wanted to avoid escalation with the Kremlin. In the days after the attack, the U.S. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby again stated that the U.S. was certainly not encouraging or enabling Ukrainian operations inside Russia, which, again, you cannot trust these devils because they speak with a forked tongue. They say that they're not doing something or that they won't do something, but then they'll turn around and do it anyway. So, Sirach chapter 12, verse 10, never trust thine enemy, for as like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Citing the risk of escalations, being mindful of these risks is good both for United States interests and Ukrainian people, he added at that time. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova had previously warned the United States that providing Kiev with long-range weapons to attack Russia would cross a red line and potentially turn Washington into a party to the conflict, which, I have mentioned before, and which they also said the same thing concerning the United States giving Ukraine Patriot missiles, in which Russia basically came out and said, Russia basically came out and said to the United States of America, like, hey, look, if you give Ukraine Patriot missiles, okay, you will be considered as enemy combatants to the battlefield, okay, and would be considered as possible targets. So you see, Tensions are rising between Russia and the United States. The United States and its allies insist they are not parties to the hostilities but continue arming Kiev. So, like I said, forked tongue. These Edomites, so-called white people, they speak with a forked tongue, okay? Starting with the so-called elites, trickling down to the rest of their nation of people. They speak with forked tongues. They say they're not going to do something, but then they turn around and do it anyway, okay? So, let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So you're going to hear of wars, and you're going to hear of rumors of wars. And what are you seeing there? You're seeing rumors of wars. Okay? Well, we're hearing of rumors of conflicts going on between Russia and the U.S., but that's not how World War III is going to start. We know that World War III is going to start when those so-called Israelis go into Iran. Okay? When those so-called Israelis go into Iran, they're going to draw the U.S. into their confrontation against Iran, and that's what's really going to, be that's how World War III is going to fully turn into a full-blown war. Because right now we are in World War III. Okay, we're technically in World War III, but we're waiting for World War III to escalate on a very hot level, which is going to begin when those so-called Israelis make their move on Iran, and they cause the United States of America to get involved with their confrontation against Iran. Because currently there is 50,000 plus troops stationed on the borders of Iran. Now we know that as soon as the United States go into Iran, that's going to be the drawing point for Russia. They're going to go into Iran and start killing United States troops. And then NATO's going to step in because they're an ally of Russia. NATO's going to step in because they are an ally of the United States. China is going to step in because they are an ally of Russia. Germany is going to step in because they are an ally of the United States. Turkey is going to step in because they are an ally of Russia. North Korea is going to step in because they're an ally of Russia. And of course, you got the Israelis. They're an ally. The so-called Israelis, they are an ally of the United States and Germany and NATO. And then of course you're going to have Libya and Ethiopia. They're going to be joined with Russia as well. So it's going to be one big bloodbath over there in the Middle East, which is going to be the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is going to be called Yahweh Shaphat. Where Jehoshaphat goes back to the Hebrew Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's the judge. And the reason why it's called Yahweh's the judge, because the Lord is going to judge those nations over there, especially for the controversy of Zion. So Isaiah chapter 13 verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Who are the Medes? The modern day Medes are the Russians. Okay? So the Lord is going to stir up the Russians against who? The Babylonians. Now back in the ancient world, the Medes, the ancient Persian and the Medes were known for taking down who? They were known for taking down the Babylonians. Now, if you look at today's time, right, the modern day Babylonians is who? The United States of America. The modern day Medes are who? The Russians. Okay, when you look on the biblical map, right, you will find out that the land of the Medes is where the Russians are dwelling at today. Now, back in the ancient world, okay, the Medes were the Japhetic people. Okay, when you look up Mede, I believe it goes back to Madiah or something like that. Which you'll find out that Mede is actually one of the, I believe he's either a son of Japhet or he's a grandson of Japhet. Okay, but either way it goes, okay, Mede is he's one of Japhet's descendants. Okay, when you look up Mede, I believe it goes back to Madiah or something like that. Which you'll find out that Mede is actually one of the, I believe he's either a son of Japhet or he's a grandson of Japhet. Okay, but either way it goes, okay, Mede is he's one of Japheth's descendants. But are the Japhetic people living in Russia today? No. Okay, so we know that the Russians, they're predominantly inhabiting the land of Medes, or the land of the Medes. So the modern day Medes today will be the Russians, and the modern day Babylonians will be America. Okay, and we know that America is Babylon through biblical prophecy. So behold, I will stir up the Medes, I will stir up the Russians against them. Against who? Against the Babylonians. Because remember, the ancient Persian and the Medes were known for being stirred up against Babylon. Okay, and as a matter of fact, it was Cambyses that took down Darius. I believe Darius was ruler at the time when he was ruling Babylon. No, not Salakia, not Darius, not Darius. It was Cambyses who took down the ruler of Babylon at the time. Okay. Okay. And I believe Darius was the third one amongst the Medes to rule. And then of course the last one of the Medes to rule before the Persian and the Medes were taken down were Xerxes. Okay, and he went to go fight against the Greeks, but he lost. But anyways, just a little history that I've been studying up on. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So the key point is that the Lord is stirring up Russia against Babylon, which is the United States of America. With that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one.